In the last 72 hours, I've come across 2 different videos that have done a little bit of a number on me. And the reason is this. I speak on this specific subject to nauseam on a daily basis. Obsessively. And to see this manifesting or materializing in the way that it is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Now, there are a few different reasons for this. And as we get into the videos, y'all see exactly why. But I'll give you guys the context. We have 2 videos that are currently going viral that were unearthed by Laura Loomer. Shout out to Laura Loomer. You may feel whatever type of way you do with her, but she gets to the bottom of these stories. She unearthed these videos. No idea where I guess she first got them from necessarily. But these are videos of Gazan refugees, i.e., quote unquote, Palestinians, who have been shipped to my country. Now, the first video I saw was in Belgium, and I said, oh, this is a terrible sign. I'm guessing it was in Brussels. I don't know if Antwerp is going for that. I'm guessing it was Brussels. I see them having this kumbaya welcome party for these GAZANS. The next day, I see a video just like it, and I'm thinking to myself, here goes another European, country bowing the knee to jihad. And then I read the caption, and it says, San Francisco. Watch this. Now, something that you guys probably noticed is how these are most definitely people who are starving. If you're listening to this and not watching, just take a quick second to look at the starvation on these people. Look at the starving of these people. Unbelievable. Look at that. Pure starvation on. Look at this. Look at Big Mama here. She starved her way into pre-obesity right there. Imagine that. And look at all these. I don't know who's who in this audience. I don't. But I'm assuming that some are the Gazans' own family members who I don't know when the hell they got here and who let it happen. And then others are like white liberals like this. Now, there's also a video of the very same thing happening in Texas. I'm going to take the audio out because there's copyrighted music. And this is really sad right here, right? Young boy, he has one leg missing. Look at the starved. Look at how starved these people are. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy, just starved his way into type 2 diabetes. Look at her. Oh my, this woman right here, I think is the most starved person in all of Gaza. She starved her way into 3 chins. Now, all jokes aside, isn't it interesting how these people are being sent to the United States? Not Jordan, not Egypt, not Saudi Arabia, not the Emirates, not Turkey. They're being sent to America. Now, this is a story that's still unraveling itself, is still being unpacked, but I just can't help but think to myself, has this always been the grand plan for us as much as what is happening in Europe. That to me has been the most conspiracy that I've been willing to engage in, more conspiracy theory, that I've been willing to engage in. Because on this channel, I don't like to base things on conspiracy theory, right? I want to go off of the hardened facts as much as possible, on the ground, etc. I may dabble in conspiracy theories here or there, or whatever it may be, or hold beliefs that aren't actually true. Hopefully I can unpack those as life goes forward. But this is happening in front of my very own eyes. To the point where Marco Rubio, who I'm seeing as a likely candidate of an American president at some point, he has proven himself to be the guy, right? He has not been playing about these terror organizations. He's not been playing about these little terrorizers on college campuses, etc. He has been dogged about it. As our Secretary of State, he has called off and revoked any sort of visas coming out of that region. Rightfully so. Now, some would say you lack empathy, sympathy, compassion. You care not about these children. And I say, you know whose children I care about? I care about our children. I do. I also care about their children. But the people who don't seem to care about their children are them. Let's get real. Hamas was voted into power around 2005, if I do not stand corrected, by the so-called Palestinian people. The adults, the kiddos didn't. They're just being brainwashed into what they're, now holding as their own beliefs. But the adults voted for this jihadist, anti-Western regime that looks to destroy us all. Let's just say what it is. They look to destroy every single one of us. It's death to us as much as towards the Jews for them, okay? These people allow for their children to be used as pawns in this holy war, this jihad, in this war game, time and time again, and then we're supposed to be the ones to care for those children. You know who's cared for those children in real life? Is the Israeli government, is the American government, and now these other governments which are using this as a virtue signal. Oh, we're sending food. Those people cared about these kids. You know who didn't? Hamas. You know who didn't? Hamas's supporters and sympathizers. The people in this crowd right now. The adults pushing around the carts. Well, what if they just brought the kids? You know good and damn well that would never be an option. They're using the kids in the same way they use them in other ways. The same way they start these little cutesy Instagram pictures and pretend their kids are starving. One video, they're eating dirt. The next one, they're crying, pleading, asking for donations. And the next video, you see the kid eating a damn meal. You see the parent's gut on the damn video. They're using these children to come into America and to do the very same thing they have been doing globally. And they told us, these aren't conspiracy theories. These are the words of their imams, the words of their own priestly class. They said that, they don't just always come in guns a-blazing. No. The new way to go about it, when the West is concerned, and I put this book here to remind me, I started reading this, Churchill's, they say that this is the best biography on him. It should be, because the thing is as long as all the damn Lord of the Rings novels put together. I mean, look at the damn words on this. Look at the words on that. Just tiny little morsels of words. I look at that man's face to remind me of the very same warning he tried to heed in his day. These people are using their children to infiltrate. So what they will do is this. They will come in the same way they already have in Minnesota, throughout Minneapolis. They've already filled their halls of Congress and their halls of councilmen, etc., with Muslim Somalians. They will first begin to outbreed you. So at first, it's a small little collective. And then the next 10, 15, 20 years, they have had 8 children for every 1 or 2 children you've had. And the Western world has fallen for this devilish delusion that to unalive, to take the life of your own child is somewhat of an acceptable, okay thing to do. As women suffer trying to have kids, you have women who are having a half dozen of these schmishmortions. Still can't say that word on here. It's crazy. Taking the lives of their young. These people are going to breed 6 to 8 on average, maybe even on top of the ones they already have. They're going to outbreed you. They then will begin to populate and have a little more say-so. Children are born into citizenship, etc. They're going to milk your system. They're going to latch onto your system and use your laws, as they call them, your soft laws, that they can infiltrate and use against you. Again, I'm not making... Go through my catalog and see. Look it up for yourself. They will use the bullet or the bulletin. Or the ballot, the bulletin. The bullet or the ballot. That's the option. So they will then begin to create a coalition that will vote for their own vested interest. Next, they will use your free speech laws against you. They will use your woke renditions of laws against you. Racism, Islamophobia, fighting Islamophobia. Finally, they will find their way into your politics, appointing their own. One by one. Just look at the UK. How many of their mayors? There's only, 9% of the population that's Muslim, and yet how many of their mayors in major cities are jihadist? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this, folks. I couldn't believe it. I don't want to believe it. I know where this is going because I believe in God. I know where this is all going at the end of the day. But to live through it and to see the way it's unfolding, my goodness. My goodness. And so I will continue to do what I do. You know, I am now more than ever, I'm labeled as Islamophobic, as racist, as you hate these people, as you lack empathy and all this sort of nonsense. But I know the devil I'm dealing with. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with any sort of criticism. I done got threats in my life. I'm okay with that. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'm okay with that. I'll be just fine. But I do, in my heart of hearts, wish, hope, pray that everybody who heeds this message, everybody, understand what is going on. And when you understand what is going on, you're going to use the power that you have, which is your voice. It is your ballot. When we start to give up on the system, say, oh, the vote don't matter and you're not going to vote, right? I've seen people, consider themselves as conservatives. Oh, well, Trump didn't do one thing I didn't like. So now we're not voting any more Congress people who are right leaning. So you want the Democrats to take over and then for this to be absolute. Okay, fantastic. No, we continue to push for the leaders that we believe in. In the same way we got Trump in office, it was by a miracle. They wanted that man, they wanted him dead. But yet here he is because he has been chosen for a time like this. I do believe that to my core. But if we are complicit, if we bury our heads in the sand and remain silent, and maybe some are afraid to offend, and well, maybe, just maybe, you are basically saying, take us here. I was listening to this video this morning. What's this man's name? Something Gannon, I believe. He's like one of the foremost experts on narcissism. And he was speaking on how there's a study about, when you're dealing with a bully, whether it's, soft interpersonal bullying or it is like hardcore, somebody who's trying to rob you, somebody's trying to, throw you into a back of a van or something like that, terrorizer, etc. There have been studies done that you're better off fighting than going to the secondary crime location. And this changed my entire perception. And, I always look to connect the dots in this way. But, it's been proven by multiple police agencies and intelligence agencies that you have a fighting chance if you fight in the moment. Because if they take you as a hostage, if they take you to the next, location, you're cooked. What's going to happen to you there likely is a torture that you cannot imagine. What's going to happen to you likely is if you do lose your life, it's going to be far worse than what may happen right there on the pavement where they're trying to grab you up or, in the first moments on that plane or whatever else that may be going on. Again, this ain't me trying to be morbid, etc. But I'm trying to draw the parallel to say, if you do not resist in the same way there was resistance during, the vid-19, in the same way you said, hell no, okay, I'll lose my job. I'll lose that position. I'm going to stand up against getting this jab. In the same way we resisted that and said never again. In the same way, there's folks who use that terminology never again to really mean never again. You're not going to go down complicit. Kneel to your feet. No, you're going to rise up and you're going to fight, damn it. I'm not calling for arms or anything of that nature. Get me right. That defense is only necessary when defense is necessary. But right now you have the power in not being manipulated. They're using your emotions. They put the boy with no foot right in the front. So you think to yourself, oh my goodness, look at these victims. That boy's a victim. He's a victim of Hamas's jihadism. He's a victim of Islamic ideology and doctrine that says that he is the martyr. He's supposed to be a young boy who's just living life, but nope. So we need to investigate these Heal Palestine people, because I see the shirt here and I see that that's who sent this right here. They're doing something illegal. They're doing something underhandedly. Maybe they're working with Gavin Newscam in San Francisco and, God knows who. Is it Abbott over there in Texas? I don't know who that is. They're trying to pull on your heartstrings in the same way that Hamas was throughout this entire conflict and has been throughout the entire conflict. And if you continue to go forward or you stand back and behind, I promise you, you can become Morocco. You know what I mean by that? Morocco had its own freedoms. It was not a Muslim nation. It was taken over, occupied, conquered. Best believe you too can become just like them. We too can become just like that. Our women veiled, stripped of their rights actually. Our men docile and weak, bowing the knee to a foreign god in fear, or if you stand up to it, erased completely. I've made it my job to know the devil that I'm dealing with, to the point I'm willing to get into, the depths of understanding. The reason I got into Churchill is, not just because of, the context of World War II and standing up to tyranny in that way, but I heard a story of in his youth when he was still in the military of him visiting, I forget which African country, and him seeing the Muslim and the way in which these people acted and engaged when given over to their doctrine, when given over to those famous words uttered by this maniacal prophet of theirs. I need to understand the depth of that, to understand the depth of what we are currently in, to be the most effective in my position. And I pray to God y'all do the same in the extent that you can, whether it's safeguarding your children from these ideas, making sure that your family understands and knows the truth, making sure to tell the truth in each conversation you get an opportunity to do so. When they lie about Israel and the Jews, you speak up. Not because you're a Jew and you're a Jew lover. It's because you're human and you have humanity. When you think it's just a them problem and you don't see it's a you problem. I get that. I see that. I live and breathe that. I know it has everything to do with me and mine. And so I'm not waiting for it to get to my doorstep. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
Aquarius, where? I've been up for hours, I've been up for days, yeah. Staring at the ceiling, I've been counting strays, yeah. I've been in my feelings, I've been out of mind. I've been getting visions of the other kind, yeah. I've been up for weeks. I'm in the counting blessings over counting sheep. I can never be the type to limit when it comes to me. I used to be the pleaser for the people. I ain't